What's up, guys? This is LJ here, Lawrence James, coming at you with a Jungle Zac guide. A lot of people have been requesting my Jungle Zac guide. He's really strong. He's definitely one of my most played champions. He's the guy that I would suggest playing if you want to gain elo. And that's just basically because he's amazing. He has everything that you want in a jungler. He is one of the best initiations in the game. He has amazing crowd control. He has great damage. He scales well into late game as far as tankiness and damage goes. So he's pretty much the solo queue god in my opinion. He should get nerfed pretty soon, but until then, we're just going to keep playing him, and we're going to keep climbing the ladder pretty much. But the way that I run him, the runes and masteries that I'm running 9-21-0. The 9 in offense is to give you that cooldown reduction and that magic pen. The 21 in defense is basically self-explanatory, just to negate as much damage as possible. Negate damage from the creep waves, from the jungle clear times, from pretty much everything you want is in defense. The runes that I'm running magic pen reds, armor yellows, magic scaling resist blues, and ability power quints. Now, the ability power quints that I'm running, a lot of people are wondering why I'm not running movement speed quints, and the reason for that is I don't think movement speed is that great on Zac, and the reason is because your main initiation is going to be from your slingshot, and that's like, you don't really need movement speed for that because it's a stationary ability, and so like you pretty much just you jump in on somebody and then you're using your abilities, and movement speed really doesn't help you that much. It does help you moving from camp to camp, but even eventually once you put points into your slingshot, you're moving from camp to camp with your slingshot anyways, so movement speed really is not that great. He's like one of the few junglers I would suggest not going movement speed quints on, or even mobility boots. I think mobility boots are really not very good on Zac. But as you can see here, I decided to go to his red, and this is a tactic I'll do often when I jungle whoever I'm jungling. I'll go check their red and see if anyone's guarding it around 1 minute in. But unfortunately, Shyvana was in a nice position in this bush here, and she saw me go up to my red, or to their red. So the enemy team is going to go ahead and take my red, and we're just going to trade red buffs. Which is okay. It could have been worse, but I often like to do that. The way that you start with your W because that's going to do the most damage. The way that you need to attack in the jungle, and I'll show you how I do that. But basically, the way you do is you pop your W, you auto attack, and then you go pick up your bloblet when your auto attack is on cooldown and your ability is on cooldown. I see a lot of people on Zac, especially with the recent changes to Zac, the way the bloblets work. You used to be able to like sometimes make a bloblet come out and it would fall right on top of you and you just pick it up right away, but now the bloblet's going to fall away and you're going to have to pick it up. So as you can see here, I'm using my abilities, and when my auto attack's on cooldown, I go pick up the bloblet, and this is the best way that you can sustain in the jungle. And so while you're jungling, you're always looking around the map. You're looking to see what different lanes have wards, what different lanes you're going to be able to gank. And that's what we're basically going to be doing. So we picked up our Q at level 2, and that's basically just because you do the most damage to the creeps. It's a low cooldown, and you're able to get another bloblet for sustain out. And then our E is what we get at level 3, and that's actually what we're going to max first. And the reason you're maxing that is just because it increases the range on it increases the damage, and it's just amazing. It's your best ability, and once you max it, your range on your jump is like insane, and you're able to get a lot more ganks off. So here I come top because I know Shyvana doesn't have a ward up top. She started with a Doran shield, and here I'm able to land a jump possibly. So I land the jump. Nope, she ghosts away and moves out of the way. I land my Q and auto attacks with the red buff. We're able to slow her, but not enough to be able to chase her with Ghost on. So now that I know that Nocturne hasn't shown up anywhere on the map, I know that there's a good chance he's probably going to be top. So I'm just going to go ahead and sit up in this bush up here and wait either for Shyvana to move up through the lane and gank her again without Ghost, or wait for Nocturne to come. So now Nocturne comes in. He has the health pod going, but he's low on health. So I pop my E, I pop my W, or I haven't popped my E yet, but I pop my Q and my W. Now I wait for them to move away. I jump away from the bush so they don't see me. I jump in on top of them with Aatrox combo, and I'm able to slow and W on top of Shyvana, and we're just going to turret dive that real quick and get a double kill. So that was a really good play by us, and now we're just going to go ahead and push up the minion, their lane, so that we can just push it to the tower as fast as possible. This is like something that separates a good jungler from a bad jungler, is knowing when to push with your teammates. And that was a perfect opportunity because now Shyvana's going to lose all of the CS, and now Aatrox can either decide to push up another wave, or he can go back and go use the money that he got from that double kill. So what he's doing is a little risky, because if Shyvana sees him doing this, then this could be potentially bad. But if I didn't help him push this, it would have taken a lot longer for that to go to the turret, and Shyvana would not have lost that much minions. CS. But so on our first back here, we go ahead and we buy boots and we buy a spirit stone. And these two items are really good early. Even though you don't have mana, the extra damage that you get, the health regeneration, is all really good for the Spirit Stone, and you're pretty much just going to go into Ancient Golem, which is like your main core build on any jungler, but it's really good on Zac. So here I was just checking to make sure that Nocturne cleared my red when he did it, and he did. So good guy Nocturne does that, and we just keep farming. So you can notice I go right from Brace to Golems, and I'm probably looking to gank bottom, especially the fact that they're losing. If you can see, Twitch has 28 CS, Tristan only has 14 CS, and they're pushed to the tower, so I know this would be possibly a good time to gank if I can get over there. Now I know we don't really know where the wards are. We do know they don't actually have a ward in Tribush, so if I would have known that, it would have been a lot easier for me to just come around here and gank. But so now the case is I'm just kind of waiting to see if they push up to this range, because this is about as far as my E will go, is like right around here. So if they move up to that area, then I'll try to land my E on them, but if not, then we're not going to be able to do much here. So like while I'm doing my golems, while I was doing these golems over here, I'm looking at bottom, I'm seeing what the CS is. You always want to be doing something on the map, and that's a luxury that you don't get on any other role. You can't do that when you're an AD carry. You can't look around the map and see how everyone else is doing like consistently. When you're jungling, it's really nice to be able to do that, and it gives you a distinct advantage to know where wards are, what the other team is building, and pretty much that. So I'm still trying to gank this lane. I know they don't have this ward because Nami told me, but so I walk into the bush. They probably saw me in here for sure because of that minion, but that's okay since they don't have this warded. They're either gonna have to play passive and my lane will catch back up with CS, or they're just gonna have to face check this bush. But this is something I'll always do. I'll go back in the bush instead of just going to go do my golems or something else. I'll stay back in the bush and just go back, so that way Zyra doesn't know. But she does check the bush and she does find out that I'm not there. So that's a little unfortunate. Most other supports wouldn't be able to do that, and they'd have to even play more passive than that. So we are level 5, probably just looking to go farm my camps. You always want to keep track of when your camps are. They're 50 seconds each, so a lot of times if you're just farming one to the next, if you walk all the way back to wolves, they'll be back up again. So if you're playing a farming jungler, or you're just in a case where you need to farm, then that's what we're going to do. And also I did time their red buff, so I know that their red buff is going to be up soon, and I probably wanted to invade it, but unfortunately our mid lane died, so my plan has to change a little bit. Now I'm just going to go hold mid, get all this CS, make sure that we don't lose any, and basically just do that instead of going to the red. Like when you're invading, is really important to have backup from your teammates. Like ideally, you want your mid lane, or like let's say I'm invading their red. You want your top lane and your mid lane to push up to the tower, so that way they can't really come and help them. So here I know that Nocturne is, I don't know where Nocturne is, but I know that he went up top area, and when he ulted, I figured he was up there. So I'm telling Aatrox to just come here. So I jump in, I blow my ultimate on Shyvana, I knock her up, I'm landing all my abilities onto Shyvana, my W while I ulti, I Q her for the last kill, and we're able to pick up that kill and save our Aatrox. So like right there, I roamed top because I knew that I saw the Nocturne was level 6, and I saw that he went through this ward up top somewhere. Or I just knew that he went top. Actually, I warded that, so I don't know, but I just figured that he went top. So I went up there during the darkness and just figured that he was up there. So now I go and do his red because I know that it's still up since Nocturne doesn't have any buffs. So I know that both of his buffs are up actually. But I'm gonna go ahead and do the red here because Nocturne is forced to stay stop and hold that, and Shyvana's dead, so they're not gonna be able to defend this at all. So I go ahead and do his red. Now I have a few options. I can go do my blue, or I can do my red, or I can do his blue. Like you have to note a few things. So the reason I'm probably not going to go ahead and do his blue is because Tristana is down here and she was backing, and I don't have any support from bottom, especially since they're losing 2 versus 2 and Ezreal's getting pushed in by Morgana. It'd be really unsafe for me to do that. Even if Nocturne doesn't get there in time, it'd be really unsafe for me to do that. So now that we just got those kills, we're 1-0-2. We're just farming up our jungle. You never want to fall behind in levels because then you become obsolete. And so even though Nocturne was up there for a long time and he got probably 2 waves of CS, we're still even in levels, which is really good because all that CS went to Aatrox instead of Shyvana. And I was still able to keep up levels by taking his red and just farming up the jungle creeps. So here I'm just doing my race. Even though my red is up, I know that Nocturne was top for so long that there's no way that he's going to be at my red, which he's not, but there's no way that Nocturne would get there in time, because he also has to go to his blue right away. Because that's like really important to get the blue off the map. You don't want to lose your own blue. If he goes to red and my red's not there, there's a chance I could be doing his blue and he'd be really screwed. So we just farmed everything. We farmed from blue buff all the way through the jungle, and now all of my jungle creeps are on cooldown. The wolves probably should be respawning really soon, but I'm gonna go bottom and I'm gonna try to gank for them because they are losing really bad. This is a little dangerous because they are really fed and they maybe could 2 versus 3 us, but I am 2 levels up, so I try to land onto the Zyra, but I get snared. I flash away from her ultimate and I ulti on top of Zyra. to just land some damage. Zyra's really smart and kites back through our jungle, and Twitch is just doing a ton of damage to the Nami and kills her pretty much instantly. And so now we just need to kill the Zyra as fast as possible, otherwise we're really screwed. Ezreal is forced to stay mid because of Morgana push, and we're not able to do much there. Now Twitch is possibly, yeah, so he's like 1 versus 3 in us right now, unfortunately. With the Zyra passive, she was able to get a little bit of extra damage onto Triss, but he's not going to be able to follow me because with my slingshot ability, I'm going to be able to get out of there. And Twitch just goes right back to farming. So that was really bad for us. Sometimes your ganks are not going to go very well. Sometimes it's not going to go perfectly. Sometimes you're not going to land your abilities. Like, I tried to land my E right there, but Zyra snared me, so I didn't land it. If I would have landed that jump and then ulted right away, there's a very good chance we just kill Zyra right away and then turn on to Twitch. But that didn't happen. So you still have to know how to win these type of games, because this kind of stuff is going to happen to you, and it's going to happen to your teammates. So you still have to know how to win this game. So Twitch is 3-0-0, and we know that he's going to be a super forced late game. So we're just going to have to play through that somehow. We're going to have to focus him. We're going to have to do something to try to stop him. We're going to have to gank again and possibly try to kill him. So I just go right back to farming after that. You want to make sure you're always doing something on the map. You always just want to be a presence. As you can see, I've ganked pretty much... Actually, I haven't really ganked mid lane, but that's because Morgana's really hard to gank. Unless she really overextends, it's pretty hard. And speaking of overextending, she's kind of overextending right now. But this is an angle that I like to hit people from, especially if this is their side. Like, I could go to their race and do it over the wall here, and that's like really unexpected. A lot of people don't expect that. So I'm trying to land the jump. This is probably the max range I can hit. So we'll see if I can land it. Nope, she moves right out of my max range distance. I land a Q on her, and we do get some damage on her, which is pretty nice. Nocturne saw me going this way, so now he knows I'm in this bush, and I'm going to try to gank bottom, but Nocturne cuts me off, and he's able to get a fear on me. And now Morgana's thinking about coming in. I slow him with Q. I slow the Nocturne with Q, and now I'm just running away, popping my bloblets on cooldown to just do as much damage as possible. But there's no way I'm going to be able to win this 1 versus 1. Ezreal was stopped by the Morgana, and I just have to slingshot over the wall to get away from the Nocturne. So now I make sure Nocturne doesn't keep chasing before I go do these golems, but I think I'm going to go do the golems. Yeah, I go do the golems here. And so that was a little unfortunate. Like I was saying with the gank onto mid lane, even though we didn't blow any cooldowns, it's still nice to be a presence there, because if Morgana pushes alone next time onto the turret, then there's a chance that Morgana's going to be scared of me jumping over any of these walls here, and she's going to be a little more wary of it. So that was smart by their team. Nocturne knows that I had to go back, and I wasn't going to be able to help the Ezreal, and they just 2 versus 1 my Ezreal in mid lane and just take the tower, which is a really good play for them. So they're definitely ahead right now. We have a little bit of a gold lead, but not much. And their gold is on better champions in my opinion. So here I'm able to see Morgana overextending a little bit. I land my E onto her. I slow her. I try to ult, but she black shields it. I'm still doing as much damage as I possibly can to her. I'm popping my W on cooldown. I'm slowing her with Q, trying to let my Ezreal catch back up. She snares me and flashes, so she has no way. Her black shield's on cooldown. I have to land the E on her to get the kill, and we do land the E right underneath the tower, the slingshot. And so now we're going to do the same thing that we did top lane. We get a kill, so now we're just going to push their lane with them. And it's okay to take the CS, that's no big deal. So now Nocturne is ulting bottom, and I know that we have to push this tower. We have to trade this tower, otherwise it's going to be really bad. So maybe Tristana gets out. Nope, Tristana does not get out. Nocturne's forced to flash, and they pick up a double kill there, so that's not good for us. But we have to get this tower to make something out of nothing. If I went back and didn't help the Ezreal push, there's no way he's going to get this tower. So we may still not get it, but this is our best bet. So yeah, we should actually get this tower. The minion wave pushed up really nicely. And so now we get that tower. We could have maybe kept pushing, but Morgana's going to be back here really soon, and we probably wouldn't have been able to do that much. Also, I know that Dragon is up, and we need to be a little careful about that. And so now Ezreal ults top, and it does hit Shyvana. So now it's a 1v1, but Aatrox doesn't have his passive. He's trying to lifesteal as much as possible, but Shyvana does a lot of damage, and they're trading 1 for 1. So now that huge minion wave is going to the tower. I already started blue, so I'm trying to just do this as fast as possible and just go get top and try to get all that experience. Now, if they play this right, they should see this and possibly look to do Dragon or look to push mid if they see me going top. So you kind of have to judge that. So now I am going top. So now Syra vision wards Dragon, and she's probably saying, hey guys, let's do this, let's do this. And that's really smart by them. But Nocturne is doing his red at the same time, so it's possible maybe they won't do it. But holding lanes is really important, but you have to know when to do it. I mean, like, that probably was a bad time for me to do it. Yeah, so now they're going to do Dragon. There's a few things that was bad about that. Like, in a normal situation, it'd probably be okay for me to hold that lane, but the fact that Ezreal is so far pushed back, he's not going to be able to defend the turret, and the fact that my bottom lane is lost so hard, there's no way that they're going to be able to do any kind of support, any kind of help on that Dragon. And so they don't even need Nocturne. Nocturne doesn't even come in, and they're able to pick up the Dragon there. So that's not good for our team. They pick up a Dragon. And they're probably a little bit ahead in gold. Yeah, they're a little bit ahead, but not terrible. And we still need to be playing better. We're 203, so we're not doing bad personally, but we need to be better or we're not going to win the game. So we're just still farming. We get our red buff. You can see I built a Giant's Belt. I actually went Ninja Tabbies and then Ancient Golem. And like I said, I don't build mobility boots on the Zac, and I think this is a really good item build on him. I went a Giant's Belt instead of a Sunfire Cape for a few reasons. I guess I probably talked to my Nami and I said, hey, Nami, you want to build Aegis? And she said, yeah. So I'm going to go into more of a late game build, and I'll probably look to build either Sunfire first, or maybe I'll build, I don't know, I'll build something else, some magic resist item or something, like a Scepter or something. So here I see they're coming bottom, and or Spirit Visage actually I meant to say, but I see them coming bottom and they're still low, and I know that Nocturne doesn't have his flash, and these guys probably don't have their, or do they have their flash? No, they both don't have their flash. So if I jump from this angle and I still have my ultimate up, so I land on all of them, I get an Ezreal ult as well, and I'm just ulting in on top of them, landing my W, landing my abilities, landing my Q, and I'm slowing Zyra with E and my Q passive and my red. I'm picking up my Bloblets to make sure I'm regenerating enough health. I'm slowing the Nocturne for my Ezreal to get here, and now I flash in close to him and try to E so that he's not able to get away from that. I try to land my E onto Nocturne, but he W's it, unfortunately. And now we're just trying to kill him, and we're chasing him down, but it looks like Nocturne's going to be able to get away unless I land this E on him, which, oh, I do land the E on him. I slow him with Q for Ezreal to jump in, ignite, and get a Q off and get a kill. And actually, Nocturne blows his ult there. He panics and blows his ult to try to stop his death, but that does not happen. And we're able to pick up the kill. So that was a really good turning point for us, and if we win this game now, then that's going to be probably the turning point for me to get that double kill right here and then finish off the Nocturne. Like, maybe change the game right there. If we don't get anything for that, and they possibly even get a turret out of that, then there's like a very good chance that we'll be so far behind at that point, it'd be really hard to come back in solo queue. Like, solo queue leads, like, even though they're only up a little bit of gold, they're still up a decent amount in solo queue, because it's just really hard to come back in solo queue. Like, even though a lot of people throw and games are never over in solo queue, leads tend to be really detrimental to your team. Like, a lot of teams don't know how to play from behind, and they'll just let the other team snowball really hard. So we're 404. We do go ahead and get the chain vest. I missed my E right onto Morgana there. She was a little overextended, and now they do ward that bush because they did see me jump from it, so they're going to go ahead and ward those bushes, which is fine. So I'm making them ward, which is not bad. I'm probably waiting for my race to spawn. I'm not really sure when they spawn, but you should be timing that, like I said, 50 seconds on all of the camps. And you can just go from camp to camp to camp, and then back to the other camp again, and just keep farming. Like, optimizing your gold as a team, overall as a team, is just really important. Like, if there's wolves on the map, if there's golems on the map, then you need to be farming those as a team, because that's just the maximum gold that your team's going to be able to output. There's different ways you can get gold, but those are guaranteed waves, the mini wave. Here I'm trying to save top so the turret doesn't die. I'm jumping in from this side, so he may not see me, but I jump in, and they do avoid all that, but I'm just trying to prevent this tower from dying. And you can see, like, they're focusing a lot of pressure on this, and I see Shyvana's coming through here, but she's going to be able to get away. I'm not going to be able to chase her. So here, I jump on top of the minions, and I pull the minions away from the tower, because if I let the minions get to the tower, then they could just literally just siege the tower and just attack it when the minions are attacking the turret as well. And so if I pull the minions out here, then there's nobody tanking the tower, and they can't kill it, obviously. But that is the main reason we do that. And now I'm going to go ahead and go back, and we'll see what I buy here. We're keeping up in farm. We're a little bit behind the Nocturne, which is to be expected. Nocturne's going to farm a little bit better than us, but we are still even in levels. And so I was going to go back there, but I actually decided to go ahead and push this lane, which is really smart by me, because now I'm able to pick up all that CS from the mid lane, all that experience, and I do get a gain a level on that. You get way more experience from the laning than you do in the jungle. And so now Shyvana's pushing top lane. My Aatrox is roaming, so I probably need to cover top lane. So I'm trying to go back to top lane, but Shyvana pushes really hard, and she's most likely going to be able to pick up this turret really easily. But Aatrox does pick up a kill, so there was a nice roam by him. And I do finish up my Sunfire Cape. So that's the item build that we're going with. Normally I would probably go Aegis, but I want to clear off my blue buff here as fast as possible, just because I know that Shyvana is really far pushed up here. And so Ezreal wants his blue buff, so we'll go ahead and we'll give him the blue buff, no problem. And they have this warded, actually, so they knew that we were there. But that's why Shyvana decided to run off. And you can see, like, movement speed isn't that important, because I'm just jumping from camp to camp. like if my E is back up again, I'm just going to jump into this race. So movement speed isn't really that great. So now I get snared, and I haven't used my jump yet, so this might be okay for us. But I see Shyvana come in from the backside, and there's no way I'm going to jump in on that because that would be a really bad initiation. Sunfire Cape is a really good item on Zac. It scales like really well. It synergizes really well with your bloblets and how you do damage, basically. But so we're just kind of pressuring mid. You never want the minion waves to go too far onto your side. So if the minion wave starts coming on your side as a team, and no matter what lane you're in, you're going to want to push those minion waves back to the other side of the camp and just put pressure on their side of the map instead of yours. You can see, like, with the bloblets, I pick them up when my auto attack's on cooldown. I'm still doing it even at level 13, even though I'm way ahead. It's just really important to do that. I don't pick up that bloblet. I probably... Look at that bloblet. Sad bloblet. No, don't leave me. Don't leave me. But unfortunately, we did leave him. So, you know, no man left behind is does not apply to Zac, apparently. But we're still farming as much as we can. And we'll go ahead and we see what we'll build. We might even look to go a Spirit Visage at this point. So now I'm trying to land a jump onto Morgana. I know she's over here. I missed my jump onto her, but I land my stun, and now she lands her Q on me, but she's going to be able to get away from that. We see Nocturne ult in, and I'm just trying to slow her with my Q. We do have this warded, so I do see that she's right there. I land that. She ultimates and Zhonya's. I'm trying to get out of the stun, but we're just going to let Ezreal pick up that kill really easily. And so now I'm trying to come bottom to save the Nami. And I'm trying to get the maximum range on the jump. I land right onto Nocturne, but they do still pick up that kill with Zyra and Nocturne damage. I run into the bush to try to avoid much damage as possible. When you're in team fights, you're just kind of waiting for your jump to be back up. So now we see the rat come in, and there's no way I'm going to jump into that because we'll definitely die. So I run back. Aatrox is coming in from the backside, and he jumps right in onto Rat, blows all his damage, and gets as much damage as possible. I jump, I land right onto Nocturne, blow my W right after, and we're able to pick up all those kills there, so we get Nocturne and we get Zyra for that. So that was really good. Now I go back instantly because I see that Shyvana is pushing top lane and we don't want to lose the top lane. So also Tristana's running there at the same time, so that's nice. But we are 505. We go ahead and we pick up the Negatron Cloak, looking to go into the Spirit Visage, and that is an amazing item. I go ahead and pick up Home Guard too because this was a perfect time, because if Tristana wasn't going back, like a lot of people ask me, like, when you build Home Guard. And that was an amazing time to build Home Guard because they were pushing the tower and I needed to get there as soon as possible. So that's like a perfect time to build Home Guard. And that's what I did right there. But even though I didn't go to it anyways, I know the Dragon is up as well. And since Aatrox is able to push that tower and we got those kills on Nocturne and Zyra, I know that Nocturne's not up until just then. He just spawned. So there's no way that he's going to be able to get here in time. Even though we don't have a Vision Ward for this, it's still a pretty easy Dragon, and me and Aatrox should be able to take this down solely. So, like, even though they took the Dragon, I still timed when they did the Dragon. And a lot of times you won't know when they do the Dragon or when not. But you may not see the timer in the chat because you don't have it warded, but you have an idea of when they do it, and you just want to ward it whenever, or you just want to say the time when you think they did it. If you can get it near the time that they did it, then that's almost as good as timing it anyways. But they're trying to check. The other team is like doesn't even know that we did the Dragon. They're kind of sad. They're like, what? Look at this Morgana. She's like, did the Dragon already spawn? I don't understand. But yeah, we already did the Dragon. I'm sorry, Morgana. And you can still see at level 15, we're still farming the jungle. We never stop farming. We never want to fall behind in levels, and you always want to gain an advantage on your opponents. And that's exactly what we're doing here. We have a little bit of a gold lead. We don't have much of a gold lead, but it's enough to where we can still win this game. Aatrox gets caught out here, which is really unfortunate. He's probably going to die, but Nocturne ults in, and now I can't see him, but I know that they're probably under the tower somewhere, so I go ahead and I E right in, and now I'm going to go ahead and ult all of them, and I'm trying to just land the stun on all of them. But I do get feared there, and we are able to pick up that kill with the Sunfire Cape. My passive does proc, and now I'm really low, but my team's able to come in, and the other team's in a really bad spot. I'm just hoping, praying that my bloblets make it together here. They make it together here. I land my E, I land my Q snare onto Shyvana, and we're able to pick up that kill pretty easily. And we just got a 4 for 1. Yeah, we killed 4 and they only killed 1. They killed our Aatrox. So they really overextended for that kill. Once they caught Aatrox, they needed to kill him right away when he came out of that passive. And once he dove underneath here, the Nocturne made a really big mistake by trying to dive that turret. And even though it was in darkness, I couldn't see, I decided to go for it anyways. So here we're trying to do the Baron, but I'm really low. I don't have my passive, so this is really dangerous for us. And Zyra is still alive, but we should be able to do this as long as we take turns tanking the Baron. So you can see, like, Nami's tanking it for a little bit. Now I go in and I'm trying to tank it a little bit. And just picking up my bloblets. I'm being really sustain worthy. And now Ezreal gets over the side and he's able to pick up that kill. So this should be really easy for us now that Zyra is dead. And you can see I'm just picking up the bloblets. Ezreal comes in and tanks the turret. We're really low, but we're going to be able to pick that one up. And now we just need to get out of here. We don't want to stay around. And a lot of people make mistakes by going back right here, and then they get caught and they die, and it ends up not even being worth the Baron. So we're gonna go back to a safe distance. I jump over the wall here back to the turret, so I know 100% sure this is gonna be safe. And the fact that I have home guard, I know that I'm gonna be able to defend this turret as well. So as soon as I go back, I'm probably just gonna go right into an item. Yep, I go into a Spectre's Cowl and a Kindle Gem, and then I go sprint right back towards mid so that they can't push anything off of our Baron. And so now we're decently far ahead. We have Baron, and we probably want to force a fight, but we don't have great poke, I would say. I mean, we got Ezreal, which is okay, but it's going to be hard for us to push onto a turret, I bet. So, and now, at this point, we're probably just waiting to group. Oh, no, here I might have an item. We'll see. I might have Spirit Visage. I probably just have enough for it, and that's why I'm going to go back, because that is a great item on Zac. It's just amazing with your bloblets. You're just so sustain heavy at that point. And once you have the Sunfire and the Spirit Visage, you're just really tanky, and you're able to do a decent amount of damage. So yeah, we go ahead and pick up that Spirit Visage, and we're just going to jump right out of the base. The reason that you probably see me doing this a lot during the game, and the reason that I do that is because if you stand at the edge of the fountain, you're still getting healed, and all your abilities cost health. So when you jump, when you go to Elastic Slingshot back, you take a little bit of damage, but the fountain heals you, and you just fly across the map, and then you're able to get out of the fountain faster. So those little tricks will help you. I do that through all throughout the game. Levels, as soon as you get your slingshot, basically that's a smart move to do, because you're going to cover more ground by slingshotting across the map than you could by just coming out of the gate and running. Especially with home guard too, because you're able to slingshot out of the middle of the fountain and still have the buff at full, the home guard buff, and then you're just like all the way across the map, and you have a home guard like at full too, so you're just going across the map really at a fast speed. But we are 608. We have Baron buff. We are looking to engage onto them somehow, but we need to be really careful. We're not strong enough to turret dive them, especially with a Morgana. But I go ahead and jump in here and try to catch the Morgana outside of the turret range, but that's not going to happen, and we're just going to pick up those kills. There's really good spots to engage when you're pushing down a tower. This is one of them, the direction that I'm trying to look to go possibly. If you go behind this wall right here, a lot of teams don't expect you to do that. But we're trying to do as much damage to the tower as possible. I tank the tower just a little bit just to get a few extra hits. I dodge the Zyra snare and make sure that we're not getting caught inside the turret, because if we do get caught on top of the turret, then we possibly could die. We have a very strange team comp too as well. We don't have much AP damage, so we need to pretty much win this game in the next 10 minutes, otherwise we're going to have a really hard time, because they're going to have so much armor at that point. So here we're just poking the tower a little bit. We need to be careful here. Unfortunately, Zyra lands a snare on both of them, and a Morgana lands in. I'm forced to jump in to try to save my team, but it's unfortunate. I blow my ultimate. We're losing this match really bad. Everyone dies but me. I flash over the wall. I try to get away. I jump over this wall trying to get away. I'm just trying to escape as fast as possible, and that's not going to happen. So we just got aced, and we basically just threw the game right there. When Zyra landed the snare on Ezreal, and I think it was maybe Nami or Tristana, I can't remember, we were really screwed. If you saw where I was positioned, I was probably pinging my team back like, hey guys, we can't do this, we can't do this. And then once they got snared, I had to jump in from this angle right here. Otherwise, we were completely screwed. And we got screwed anyways, but that was the kind of the way that we tried to turn it. But we'll see how far they're able to push here. They don't have any minion waves, and that is the one thing that's pushing to our advantage. But there's 10 seconds until anyone is up on our team, and they're going to get a really nice push here. So we'll see what they're able to do. Shyvana goes and splits top. I'm not sure if that's a great idea, actually. It probably would have been better for him to push the tower. Or maybe not, because it looks like they're just going to be able to get the tower, then they're going to have to back out, because we would have been able to defend the inhibitor tower. So we are 619. We were able to... Did we pick up any kills there? I'm trying to think. I think we picked up one kill there. I can't even remember now. Yeah, we picked up a kill on Morgana, right? Okay, so we killed Morgana. But now Dragon is up as well, but I need to go defend top to make sure that Shyvana does not pick this up. I see Shyvana going back right there, and I don't want him to let him just go back there. So I jump in, and nope, I don't land on him, but we do force him from not going back at a low health. And this is really easy to farm, and we just pick up all that farm in CS. And we are level 17 right now. We're a level ahead of their jungler, and we are even with the highest leveler in the game. And those factors are really important in solo queue. You don't want to fall behind in levels. Once you fall behind in levels, it's really hard to come back. So I go ahead and I just jump right over that just to I don't know, just for like star points or something. That's what I'm saying. Like with movement speed, you're just moving around the map with your slingshot most of the time. So we do know that Dragon is up, and maybe we're looking to do it, but we are being a little careful because they are pushing mid, and we did get a pain onto the Shyvana, so we are possibly catching the Shyvana here. Morgana tries to come in to save them, but I jump in over the snare, and I'm able to land a lot of abilities on the Morgana. With the amount of CC I have, we completely caught them out of position. Now I see Twitch and Zyra come in from the backside, and I need to CC them because they are so fed. I jump out of the Zyra ult and land onto both of them. I Q, I land my W, and now we're just trying to kill the Twitch as fast as possible. Now we switch over to Zyra because Zyra's super low, and hopefully we're able to pick up that kill. We pick up that kill, and now I know that if I can land the jump onto Nocturne, yep, I land right onto him, but he does W that. I slow him with my Q. I pick up my Bloblet so that there's no chance I'm going to die because my passive is down, so if Nocturne somehow killed me, that would have been really bad. But we do pick up a lot of kills there. We aced them, and they only got 2 of us, so we did catch them out of position. Like, originally we were going to go do the Dragon, but since we caught the Shyvana out of position, I decided against jumping into the Dragon Pit and just going right for the Shyvana there. And since we were able to get all that CC on to the Morgana and the Shyvana, that we were able to kill them. So now we're just going to pick up this turret, and we might be able to push on to the next... No, we're not going to be able to push on to the next turrets, but we just get that inhibitor, which is really good for us. We're going to go ahead and back out. We know that Baron is pretty soon because we don't have Baron buff. Well, actually, we all died, so we don't have Baron buff anyways, but we know that we time Baron, so Baron is probably coming up soon, in my opinion, and we'll see what we buy here at this point. So I might be looking to go a little bit of magic damage, and I'm going on Haunting, guys, and I'm probably looking to go Leandries. And Leandries is a great item on Zac because of just how his abilities work. You're going to be able to get a lot of stacks, a lot of procs on your Leandries. And we don't have any magic damage, so I need to go a little bit of magic damage to make them build a little bit of magic resist. And you can see the Nocturne did build a little bit of magic resist, and so that's really good for us. And so now I see that my team is doing the Dragon, and I'm just coming over here to support them and make sure that they're able to get out. And we do pick up the Dragon barely, and Ezreal is able to escape over the wall. And so here my team is probably thinking about engaging, but I'm not so sure if it's a great idea. So we're going to play it a little safe, and we'll look to see what we do here. I'm still farming at all stages in the game. You never stop farming. And you never stop buying wards. If you've noticed this game, I bought a lot of vision wards. I bought a lot of sight wards. I've actually could have bought more this game, actually. Like, thinking about it back now, I definitely could have bought more. And that stuff makes a huge difference in solo queue. Like, buying wards is so important. And so now we're looking to do blue. Maybe Ezreal will come and take it. Nope, I'll just take it from them. And that's okay. As long as they don't get angry. Then blue buff is really nice on Zac. Like, having the cooldown reduction is really good. I'm probably at, almost at max cooldown reduction right now with the Spirit Visage and the Ancient Golem. Probably really close to it. But Baron is back up, and now there's a few things that we can do. Since we have the inhibitor down, we can force this Baron really easily because they're just going to have to defend their own base with these super minions that are pushing, and all the waves will push since we have that inhibitor down, and we're going to be able to force this Baron possibly. So even though they have it warded right now, we could potentially look to go ahead and just force it and just do it. And now Shyvana's going back as well too, but he's going to have to be forced to stay to see if we're doing it. And now we just start doing it. And even though they have it warded, there's no way they're going to be able to defend this, because if they come anywhere near here, I'll just engage on them. And so now we just go ahead and pick up that Baron really fast. And they're forced to back out. Now we're just looking to get any engage that we possibly can. I try to jump in, I miss it, but I flash in, and now I ulti on top of the Twitch, and I'm just completely zoning out 3 of them right now while my team is able to pick up kills in the back row. And now I'm just trying to finish off the Zyra, but it looks like she might get away. And now Morgana tries to ult me. I run out of the Morgana ult range, and now I'm just trying to land a jump. I'm trying to land it onto Twitch possibly. Yep, I land right onto Twitch. We pick up that kill, and now we're just looking to end the game possibly. They were able to kill the back row, the Nocturne, and the Shyvana, while me and Aatrox zoned out the top. Now I try to jump in onto Morgana, but she flashes away. I run out of the turret range so that we're not taking the turret damage, and we're just looking to push onto this base and just completely end this game. We are 8-1-13. That is the way that I run Zac. He's really fun. He's a great initiation, like you can see, and as long as you land your ability, landing your E is really important on Zac. If you miss your E, you're not going to have good times playing Zac, but that is the way I like to play him. So thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe.
Where are we going? Hey, come back. Let's find some friends.